Reality TV has seen some wild moments, but what just happened between EricaMena, Yandy Smith-Harris, Scrappy, and Mendeecees might go down as one of the most explosive storylines in love and hip-hop history. This wasn't just drama, it was a public unraveling of friendships, trust, and loyalty, all caught on camera and amplified by social media. It all started with whispers. Whispers that Yandy was allegedly playing matchmaker behind the scenes, setting up Scrappy with a new woman. A woman who, as rumors now suggest, may have serious ties to Erica. And if that wasn't enough to spark a fire, it came out that this new woman might also be pregnant. Yes, pregnant, with Scrappy's baby. The betrayal hit like a thunderclap. Erica, who has never been one to hold her tongue, went into full attack mode. Her rage wasn't quiet. It was a storm, loud, emotional, and aimed straight at Yandy, the very woman she once considered a sister. During a chaotic on-set confrontation, Erica accused Yandy of being manipulative, fake, and deliberately inserting herself into a situation that had nothing to do with her. But Yandy wasn't backing down either. Calmly at first, she denied playing any games and claimed she was only trying to help Scrappy as a friend. But Erica wasn't hearing it. She yelled, cried, and laid out a list of receipts that painted a different picture. Allegedly, Yandy had been texting Bambi, Scrappy's ex, offering her emotional support while secretly feeding details about Erica's breakdowns on set. To Erica, this wasn't just a betrayal. It was war. And in the middle of it all, poor Mendeecees, who looked like a deer caught in the headlights as the women he cared about ripped into each other in front of cameras and producers. He didn't know whether to step in, stay silent, or disappear. Unfortunately, silence spoke volumes. Erica looked him dead in the eye and said, "You let your wife play me while you say nothing. That's weak." That comment crushed him, and for the first time, viewers saw the cracks forming in the foundation between Yandy and Mendeecees, a couple long considered one of the stronger relationships on the show. Scrappy, as usual, played it cool on the surface, acting like he didn't know what was going on. But behind the scenes, insiders claimed he was enjoying every second of the attention. He didn't shut down the rumors. He didn't defend Yandy or Erica. He stayed quiet. And that silence? It was fuel on the fire. Fans dragged him online for being messy, playing the middle, and not owning up to his part in the chaos. The producers, meanwhile, saw gold. Ratings gold. Instead of diffusing the situation, they leaned into it, booking more scenes with Yandy and Erica face-to-face, pushing them into confrontations and scripting tension into every scene. And it worked. The audience was hooked. Hashtags exploded. Team Erica and Team Yandy became battlegrounds across TikTok and Twitter. Bloggers dropped 20-minute breakdowns of every stare, every hand gesture, every cryptic caption. Bambi, never one to stay silent for long, posted a not-so-subtle message about snakes smiling in your face while plotting behind your back. Fans speculated it was about Yandy, or maybe even Scrappy, and suddenly the plot thickened. Then came the set explosion, Erica storming off, tears rolling, screaming that Yandy knew exactly what she was doing. Behind her, a shocked Scrappy and a silent Yandy. That silence said more than words ever could. And yet, the drama didn't stop. In a confessional, Yandy fired back. "I've supported Erica through her darkest moments, but now I'm the villain. Because I wouldn't pick sides?" Her tone was calm, but her eyes betrayed the emotional toll it was taking. Meanwhile, Erica, feeling alone, broken, and betrayed, revealed in a private interview that she was considering leaving the show altogether. She said the environment had become toxic, and that her mental health was at stake. But fans weren't sure if it was a farewell speech or the setup for a new season arc. Then, just when things felt like they might calm down, another curveball landed. A screenshot leaked, allegedly from Scrappy, showing him laughing about the whole situation. In a private message, "This going to be good TV," the message read. That text changed everything. Suddenly, the theory that Scrappy had been orchestrating chaos from the sidelines didn't seem so far-fetched. Kendra Robinson, Scrappy's ex and a known powerhouse, in her own right, stepped into the shadows. Sources say she had receipts, time-stamped messages, screenshots, DMs, and she gave some of them to Yandy. Why? No one knows for sure, but that move shifted everything. Now Yandy was armed, but emotionally wrecked. She and Mendeecees reportedly filmed a private sit-down where she told him she needed space. "I don't know if I can do this anymore," she said through tears. The marriage fans had looked up to was now on shaky ground. The betrayal from Erica, the emotional toll, and the pressure from the cameras had pushed Yandy to her breaking point. Mendeecees, caught in the middle, wasn't sure how to fix it. His friendship with Erica, his loyalty to Yandy, and his silent presence throughout the chaos had made him a target. Producers were worried. This wasn't just drama. It was real. Real emotions. Real relationships falling apart. Contracts were at risk. Mental health concerns were rising. And yet the cameras kept rolling. Because for Love and Hip Hop, mess equals ratings. And this mess? It was historic. But no one expected what came next. A group scene was filmed, intended to be a healing circle. A calm, safe space to air grievances. But the minute Yandy began speaking, Erica slammed her hand on the table and shouted, "You've been fake since day one!" Spice and Rashida, usually unbothered and diplomatic, sat in stunned silence. Yandy, for the first time, broke down on camera. No glam, no edits, just raw, real tears. "I've been through prison visits, rebuilding my family, supporting my husband, and now I'm being dragged like this, all because I tried to help." Social media lost it. Bloggers called it the fall of the queen. But others saw it differently. A woman trying to hold everyone together while falling apart herself. Meanwhile, Erica, still furious, said Yandy had been pretending to care while secretly aligning with her enemies. And fans started asking the hard questions. Was Yandy helping or hurting? Was Erica overreacting or uncovering a real betrayal? And where was Scrappy's voice in all this? Missing. Silent. Absent. Just like always. And yet it wasn't over. Not even close. If you thought things couldn't go deeper than that on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, you were wrong. Because after that explosive table slam and emotional breakdown, the aftermath hit like a tsunami. And no one was safe from the wreckage. Yandy had walked away from that group scene with her mascara smudged, her spirit cracked, and her trust in the cast shattered. But what viewers didn't see right away was what happened once the cameras stopped rolling. According to insiders, Yandy didn't just cry. She collapsed backstage, physically and emotionally drained, leaning against a wall, mumbling that she couldn't fight fake people with real feelings anymore. Mendeecees, torn and tired, tried to console her, but his presence only made things worse. Because in Yandy's eyes, he had stood by silently while her name was dragged, her motives questioned, and her role as a wife and friend twisted into something ugly. She reportedly whispered to him, "If you can't protect me here, where can you?" And that was the moment fans started to fear that this wasn't just another season arc, it was the breakdown of a real marriage on national TV. Meanwhile, EricaMena wasn't done. Far from it. She went live from her dressing room later that night, wiping her face and staring dead into the camera, saying, "They wanted a villain? Here she is." That live hit nearly 1 million views in 12 hours. Fans flooded the comments. Some were saying Erica was justified, calling out hypocrisy and manipulation from Yandy and the production team. Others dragged her for being too emotional, too loud, or too reckless. But regardless of the side, people were watching, and Erica knew it. She started dropping vague screenshots and cryptic captions, hinting that there were still untold truths about Scrappy, Yandy, and even Mendeecees. Fans went into full investigation mode, dissecting every post, comparing timestamps, and trying to piece together what exactly Yandy might have done behind the scenes. And then came the real bombshell. A production assistant anonymously leaked footage to a gossip blogger showing Yandy and Bambi having a closed-door conversation about Erica, filmed weeks before the confrontation. In the clip, Yandy said, "She's too emotional, she's going to snap eventually. Let her. The audience will turn on her." That clip alone flipped the narrative. Suddenly, all those Team Yandy stans started second-guessing everything. Had she orchestrated the chaos from the jump? Was this a long play to protect Scrappy and bury Erica? Or was it just venting in a private moment that got turned into a public execution? Either way, the damage was done. Erica reposted the clip with one word: Told you. And just like that, a new wave of chaos began. Scrappy, seeing the heat rising, tried to finally take control. He posted a long Notes app statement claiming he never wanted no one to get hurt and that this ain't how family's supposed to treat each other. But fans weren't buying the kumbaya vibes. In the comments, they dragged him for being a grown man who couldn't speak up when it mattered. Some said he hid behind women to keep his image clean while letting them destroy each other on camera. Others accused him of knowing exactly what was happening and encouraging it behind the scenes. And then, as if fate had a sense of cruel timing, the Love and Hip Hop producers announced a reunion special. Live. With all cast members. In one room. And guess who refused to confirm attendance? Yandy. Insiders say she told production she needed time away from filming, that she was still processing the betrayal and focusing on her emotional health. But producers weren't letting go so easily. They offered her a solo segment, a platform to tell her side uninterrupted, with full editorial approval. And she said yes, but only under one condition: Mendeecees had to be by her side. Which opened up a whole new can of worms. Because at this point, Mendeecees had his own mess to clean up. Remember that podcast project he was launching with Scrappy? Well, after the drama exploded and Yandy pulled back from their marriage, Mendeecees put the entire thing on hold. But what he didn't know was that Scrappy had already secured a new co-host, Bambi. And when that announcement dropped on Instagram with a flashy promo photo and the caption, "No more silence, only truth," it was a slap in the face to Mendeecees, and a direct shot at Yandy. That's when fans realized this wasn't just about relationships. This was a business war now, a war that could cost everyone real money. Yandy, feeling cornered, fired off her own chess move. She filed a cease and desist order against the podcast brand name, claiming she had helped develop it and still held partial intellectual rights. Scrappy called her bluff publicly, calling it petty and typical Yandy behavior, but the damage was done. The show was on pause. Meanwhile, Erica began meeting privately with production to talk about her own spin-off. Yes, a full show centered on her rebuilding her life, raising her kids, and cutting the dead weight. Rumors say she demanded full creative control, limited interaction with the main cast, and a clause that allowed her to exclude anyone who emotionally endangered her healing. And VH1? They were seriously considering it. But the most gut-wrenching twist came during that solo segment reunion. Yandy sat beside Mendeecees looking visibly exhausted. No glam, no glitter, just raw emotion. She admitted on camera that she had been too involved in other people's problems. She said, "I thought I was helping. I thought I could fix it. But I only broke myself in the process." And then she turned to Mendeecees, her voice cracking, and said, "I need to know if you're here for me or just here to stay out of the mess." He didn't answer immediately. The silence was heavy. It dragged on. And in that pause, you could see their entire relationship flicker. Years of love, sacrifice, loyalty, and now, doubt. When he finally responded, his words were soft but unclear. "I'm here, but I'm still figuring it out." Viewers across the world felt that in their chest. That wasn't scripted. That wasn't for TV. That was a man who didn't know how to stand on solid ground anymore. And that was the moment fans realized this story arc might not get a happy ending. In the days that followed, Erica confirmed she would not be filming with Yandy again. Yandy, for her part, said she was stepping away from filming to focus on her family. Mendeecees canceled all upcoming public appearances. Scrappy deactivated his Instagram. And Bambi, well, she was promoting the new podcast like nothing ever happened. But the fans? They were still picking sides, still debating, still demanding answers. Was Yandy the villain or the victim? Was Erica justified or vengeful? Was Mendeecees a peacemaker or just a passive witness to destruction? One thing was clear: Love and Hip Hop Atlanta would never be the same. This wasn't just reality TV anymore. This was real pain, real love, real loss, and real consequences. The show blurred the line between entertainment and trauma so much that not even the cast could tell the difference anymore. And as the screen fades to black on this chapter, we're all left wondering, who will survive the next season? Who will return? Who will heal? And who will still be fighting for the truth when the cameras come back on?